I was walking away from the show last week. I was walking towards Berwick Street. I like to look at the records and the record shops. And I was on my mobile phone, and I was chatting away to someone, and what can only be described as a prostitute. Go on. Stood on the street corner.
Was she a woman that gives you sex for money?
Yes.
That is a prostitute.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Go on.
And as I was walking by, she said, "Do you want to buy sex?" Now,
you sure it wasn't a market trader giving 6 plums or
no,
something?
it was definitely...
Sex for a quid?
No, it was definitely a prostitute.
Yeah.
And what annoyed me about it, what I wanted to pick her up on something, was the fact that I was on my mobile phone. It's like, can you imagine? Who would what, am I going to hang up? Sorry, Mum, can I call you back? You know you say you want me to meet more women.
And you know you sent me that 30 quid
exactly.
for my birthday.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Johnson, I'm really excited about the job. Can I call you back? I'm just going to negotiate with a whore. And it was just sort of, you could tell that she was clearly probably desperate for crack or a latest fix of smack. So she was literally the normal etiquette of prostitution, you know, that they hang around, they show some thigh. I've seen this in films.
Will ya?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Take you out for a meal. That had sort of gone out of the window, and she was just there, desperate, running around.
Did she go out of a window? Because that's another thing they sometimes do, specialist ones.
But I was shocked because I've never been propositioned before like that.
Really?
In London.
It's weird, isn't it? Carl, thoughts?
I think you'd be sort of approached a lot because they tend to sort of go for people who look like they haven't got much chance.
Sure.
And I'm not being mean.
No.
I've known you a long time.
Sorry, I'll let you go back to it. In what way aren't you being mean? By saying that
Steve knows is a little bit odd looking.
I don't think. Well,
no, he does. Do you know?
Yeah, no, but it's not what he thinks of his looks. No. It's what he thinks of you talking about his looks on.
No, but it's like how you were talking before about, you know, your eyes are bad. It's nature's little way of saying, look, nothing to see here, right?
Don't get that!
I don't know what you mean.
But when you look in the mirror and that, they've gone, look, he hasn't got the looks, let's make his eyes bad, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're balancing it out, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, right? Now we're on the topic.
Sorry, Johnny Depp.
Now listen,
but my chest is gonna burst at this moment.
Whenever we go into this conversation, I always think to myself, Carl, do you know what you look like?
I'm gonna burst.
Do you know, seriously, can I be honest with you? You look like, you know, if you've got like a balloon, a hot air balloon, right? Just a little balloon, like a party balloon. If you drew a little face on it, right, and inflated it about halfway, that's what you look like.
Right.
No, play a record. I don't want to get into this. It's too intense.
Now you've got onto this. Let's just nip it in the bud now. I'll tell you something that I wasn't going to tell you because I think it was
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Right, it was on the tube. Right. Well, I wasn't. Someone told me they were on the tube. Right, and the tube pulled into a station. Right, and one of the women saw the poster that's out at the moment with you and Rick on it. Right. Yeah. So this woman apparently goes, "Oh look, there's Ricky. Ricky's on the radio." Right, and the other woman goes, "Oh yeah, don't you listen to it?" So she goes, "Oh, I didn't know he was on the radio," and she goes, "Oh."
I'm sorry, Steve.
Look at.
Because he didn't sound this bad.
She said, "Oh, look at that person he's with." So she goes, "Yeah." She said, "That's Steve." She said, I was sort of aware that he looked odd because Carl mentions it on the radio.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as much of a blow to me, but I can see how it was a bit of a shock to you.
Yeah.
So that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that isn't me sort of telling this woman to say anything. That was all happened without anybody else sort of bringing it on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, was it... Sorry, you seem to be relishing this. Was it because of the little balloon story that made you...
I honestly, Steve, I wouldn't have told you, but if you're going to start, having a pop...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can't just sit here and take it and that.
No.
I mean, all mates.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was mistaken for Johnny Vegas. Steve's got a story about that, if you want to have a go at me.
Well, someone just thought you were fat with a beard, which is true.
Well, don't have a go at me because he said you look...
Well, you started it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
You were milking it. You were egging him on.
I was laughing.
You were egging him on.
I sort of was.
Yeah.
But let's not,
Oh, it's a good job you've got lots of good mates like Jonathan Ross you can go and hang out with. You don't need other friends, people who've helped you in your career.
He's a good-looking bloke, isn't he, Jonathan Ross?
He's a good-looking fella.
What have you got for us, Carl?
News headlines?
There hasn't that sort of been that much going on.
Sure.
Sort of headline-wise, you know.
Sure.
No, because I look for good headlines and that, don't I? That sort of get you interested, like the...
Well, then when you're interested, you don't read on.
No, I did.
Okay, go on.
Like the one, do you know the one I read out a couple of weeks ago? That was man lives in dump for 10 years. Right?
I remember the Chinese woman eats dirt.
Yeah, well...
That was a cracker.
Man lives in dump for 10 years. I read on with that one yesterday.
Yeah.
I found it in my bag because I took it on, so I thought I'll read that when I get a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
News. Imagine that. News. I might read last Thursday's Sun.
Yeah.
Just to catch up.
Do you know how he got caught?
What do you mean how he got caught?
He lived in
living in a rubbish dump.
Well,
he
what's up with
lived
that?
in a rubbish dump. No one knew he was there, right?
Yeah.
He was living off food that had been chucked away. He said a lot of people chuck away stuff that isn't off, so you can survive on that. He had a nice little place to sleep and that, and an old mattress that was all right and stuff. Got away with it for 10 years until he decided to celebrate bonfire night with some fireworks. Can you believe that?
Well, he's happy that the gunpowder plot was foiled and the Guy Fawkes was beheaded, thus saving our system of government.
There's got to be a couple of news headlines, surely.
Hold on, wait a minute. Bong.
Pierced penis man off the hook.
Bong.
Man changed his name to Bubba Bubba Bubba.
Bong.
Dwarf to live in a glass box.
Dwarf to live in a glass box.
Yeah, it's meant to be art or something. It's not though, is it?
What? Meant to be art? Why is... Yeah, well, whose idea is this? Is art, or is it someone hired a dwarf to live in their box?
It's just a box, and he can even leave when he wants, apparently. He can, like, go, I'm hungry, I'm going for a walk, and he puts a little note.
If it's Damien Hirst, he might end up in 4 bits. So just be careful.
But to me, that's like that thing when I said to you about the woman in the jar.
What woman in the jar?
The woman in the jar, they go, oh, come and see the woman in a jar. And then it turns out it's a big jar. So
Yeah,
it's like, well, put me in there as well then.
Exactly.
It's not special.
Yeah.
And that's the same with him. It's a big box, he's a small fella. What's good about that?
What do you want to do, though? To compress matter?
But hang on, it's not a world record-breaking attempt. It's supposed to be art.
No, what's art about that?
Well, I'd like to
What's
try and
art
justify
about
it.
that? Oh, can we do a show for BBC Three? Karl Pilkington going around, what's art about that?
Yeah.
That is brilliant. What's art about that?
I'd love that.
Would you?
I'd love that.
Me and Steve are going to do a thing called Is Art Rubbish, where we'd go around and we'd chat about it.
Yeah.
But we can hand that over to you if you want to do that. If anyone from BBC Three is listening, Karl Pilkington, what's art about that? All right? Weird, isn't it? And what would you go around like Sensation and things like that and Saatchi and going...
Dali and that.
You put a sheep in formaldehyde, what's art about that? Our butcher does it. All right, weird, isn't it?
What do you make of Dali and the melting clocks, all that stuff?
Talked about it, haven't we?
Have we?
Told you.
What do you think of it? What
He sort of milked the idea a bit.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
everything had a melting clock on it. It was like he had a bit of success with it once and then he just ruined it. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
It's like you with the monkeys.
Like Status Quo?
Yeah.
Sure. What's your favourite artist? Don't say Lowry.
Lowry's my favourite artist.
Why is Lowry your favourite artist?
Captures life, doesn't he? Going on and
In
that.
stick form.
I know you're a big fan of Where's Wally as well, aren't you? You've never found him, have you? I've never found him yet.
No, Carl, that's not Wally, that's a stain on the table. You've come off the book again.
I make it clear now, I do not condone in any way, shape or form what Cheryl Tweedy did. But I have to say, they wind me up.
By they, you mean toilet attendants?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
not
not-
Pop Idol winners.
That's what I thought you meant,
Yeah.
So, go on.
But because I'll tell you what it is, you go into a club or pubs or big trendy pubs, you go in there and there's the toilet attendant in there. He's got his little display of aftershaves, sprays, some sweets maybe,
Blue Stratos,
whatever it might. Yeah,
and maybe a
blue
lollipop.
Stratos, maybe a lollipop. And all right, I don't know if they're. I assume they're not employed by the club. I'm assuming the club's got. We've got the DJ, we've got the bar staff. Wait a minute, we need a guy to irritate people in the
when the
toilet.
manager walks in, do they hide?
Well, this is it. I don't know if it's a guy who's just like.
Is it like busking?
Yeah, he
Do they
snuck
just-
in.
like, yeah, okay.
He came in when it was free during happy hour. He's got a little bag, carrier bag. He snuck in the toilet. But the thing is, it's the fact that toilet attendants, fair enough. I mean, I'm happy if a toilet attendant sneaks in under cover of darkness, cleans it for me, and then shoots off. But it's when I have to see them there. I feel guilty because I've got. It's like I maybe wash my hands. I'll forget he's there. He'll hand me a paper towel. Suddenly I got to tip him like a quid or something.
It annoys me because they're there. I wash my hands at all. I don't usually wash my hands. I sometimes don't even bother getting my knob out. I do it by stand and change my trousers when I get home.
Exactly.
So it annoys me. I have to go through this charade of getting it out, slushing out of it, shaking it dry, and then washing my hands.
See, if he did any of those elements, I'd tip him a quid. Yeah,
pop it out.
But not to hand me a paper towel and get it myself. And it's this guilt, and sometimes I'll hold it in because I'm nervous. I don't want to go back in there.
What annoys me is like a posh award ceremony. It's £1 a piss.
It is £1 a piss.
Do you know what I mean? So or
in a top hotel or something.
Yeah.
It's absurd. And I'll tell you what's worse than that. I know that he's doing it because he's got to feed his kids, but it's the fact that I've got to look him in the eye. You know, it's like he's humanised. You know, if he was only dehumanised, Rick.
Yeah.
If I could see him and I didn't think he was a human being, I wouldn't feel guilty. If he could sort of hide under the urinal, perhaps, or if he could hide underneath the sink,
like thing from the Addams. He just puts out.
Just pop a hand out. Doesn't say anything. Just hands me the paper
so you don't
towel.
even see hand, and then I go. I'd put £1 in, I'd take the thing, put £1 in, nick a lollipop and run away. No aggro.
Exactly. It's the fact I got to see them and I feel guilty because, you know, I'm on the radio, I've got a cushy life.
I know.
Here's a guy who's just trying to make ends meet. It makes me feel bad, it ruins my evening.
Yeah.
I'm just pleading for them. Can they not do it anymore? Can they maybe get a job, illegal mini cabin or something? Please. Well, I tried to play rugby, but it's awkward when you've got glasses. I don't know, there's something about
you didn't really play with glasses on.
Yeah, of course. Well, I couldn't see anything, could I? I couldn't see anything. How else was I going to play?
Oh my god!
So you're bound to be cautious because inevitably you're a bit more cautious when you've got glass next to your face.
You were the tallest person on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you were when you were about 14, you were probably 6 foot already, weren't you?
Yeah.
And everyone else was what, 5'2"?
Yeah.
So you were
towering above them,
and with glasses on.
Just with the glasses on.
And you've got pretty cool glasses now. You've had a bit of a makeover. It's like Trinny and Suzanne said. First thing to go, the glasses.
Sure, sort them out.
Yeah, and presumably you used to have those National Health sort of bottle.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Is it true? You've never been able to mosh?
I tried to mosh. Because I've always watched people stage diving, moshing at concerts. I've always thought that looks like brilliant. You know when they ride above
like a
everyone's
wave,
heads,
like they're surfing across
someone's hands. And everyone's like, yeah. And I've always wanted to do that because I'm a big rock music fan. And the only time I did mosh was at Rage Against the Machine. I tried to mosh at Rage Against the Machine.
I love the idea of a band called Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Aimed at a man with glasses who won't mosh.
Well, it was at the Reading Festival, and I think the lead singer, I forget his name, he went, can I just remind everyone that racism and fascism are on the rise in Europe again. Let's not let it happen.
What did you do?
And we all cheered, obviously. I mean, if there's one thing that guarantees a cheer at Reading Festival, it's down with fascism.
And what did they do about it after the concert?
Went back and...
went home and had a cup of tea?
Probably, I don't know what they got up to.
They didn't go to Europe then and try and stop...
I don't think they got involved politically in Europe. I think they just continued to rage.
Against the Machine?
Yeah, but largely in America, I think.
Sure.
I tried to mosh, and I got moshing, and glasses flew off. And I remember, because we were playing away, you know, you do what you tell me. And I was just going, careful, I've dropped my glasses. Can we be careful?
Loads of kids in hooded tops.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going mental.
Yeah, and they're all jumping up. So I was like, can we just calm down for a second?
Let's not be silly.
Yeah. It was absurd. And I had to kind of, scrabble around on the floor, and thankfully they were okay and they didn't get broken.
So what couldn't you do then?
What do you mean, what couldn't I do?
What, at school? Can you not see without glasses?
No.
I mean, it's like that you couldn't do anything.
It's a blur.
Really?
It's a blur, definitely.
God.
Yeah, it's like being kind of punch drunk or whatever. So yeah, you can't play sports when when you've got glasses.
But why not contact lenses? Because they're not strong enough.
No, they seemed a bit fiddly.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, this is a question. I was discussing this yesterday. This is not a bit of shit. This is not a joke. I genuinely have always been slightly perplexed, and we were discussing it last night. The notion of the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean the birds and the bees. I understand how.
Why they use the birds and the bees?
Yeah, because you see, I always, as a child, I assumed the bees were having some kind of relations with the birds.
No.
So is there anything to do with the birds and the bees, or is it literally, just like a euphemism? It's just the birds and the bees.
No, but they
Did the birds do anything with the bees?
No, not at all. It was where
they just
parents
take them out? They
it was
wouldn't
where
schmooze them?
parents used to sidestep the issue by saying things like, you know, when a lady blackbird and a man blackbird they meet, right? They make a little nest, and then because they're in love, they have an egg,
Yeah.
and that was it.
I understand that. That makes sense. But why the bees? Why the birds and the bees?
Well, probably. I don't know.
I don't know. You see, within nature, forgive my ignorance, within nature there is no relationship between bees and birds, is there?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Nothing's going on.
But probably what it was, if the parent found it hard to say, you know, Daddy puts his penis at Mummy's vagina, it was much easier to say, like in the insect world, billions of them queue up and just fill the queen with spunk for about a day.
Sure.
You know, thus avoiding the embarrassing intercourse.
Exactly.
That's what I think, Carl. What do you think?
Were you taught about the birds and the bees? Did anyone bring that up with you?
No, it was just in that class, wasn't it? When they put a video on.
That's what we had. No, we had a film.
And they just said, "Leia, I watched that." And then
What
film
film though? Basic Instinct.
It was just like, you know, two people, and all sat round the telly and watched it. One girl fainted. And they said, "Right, that's that. Next week, you know, prisms or whatever."
And did it teach you everything you needed to know?
Well, how much do you need to know?
Yeah, true. No, true. Except one kid in my class still thought a baby came out of an arse. Afterwards, he didn't understand.
I think what they should have shown on those videos is technique as much as anything.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because
yeah.
it was largely just instructional.
Wooing. Wooing.
What it didn't tell you was how to get into a position where this might be of some interest. That should have been the first 4 weeks of the course.
Yeah, well, obviously that baby who had the kid who had a baby. What was going on there, Carl?
That was weird. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was going to be your favourite programme, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't that good in the end.
Why?
This is you told us about this story ages ago, didn't you?
Ages ago. I told you about a year ago about a baby that had a baby.
Yeah, it's a bit different. The baby that had a baby, isn't it? Whereas a Siamese twin with a breech actually just developed inside him for it wasn't even developing. It was a twin stillborn that just was inside, enveloped in the other one's body. So it's a little bit different to a baby. What had a baby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually disappointed he was. Do you know what he said to me? He went, "Well, I thought it was going to come out and go, oh bloody hell, I'm 7. What a waste of my life." Like he'd been in there going, oh, "Hello, hello, I'm 7." Idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit disappointing. But there was a programme on after that, right? At 10 o'clock on Discovery, and I haven't got Discovery.
Oh,
it was
good?
about... Well, I didn't see it. This is it. I was
yeah.
going to say to people, if they've got a copy of it on tape, if they can send it in.
What was it?
About a baby with 4 legs.
Right.
That was on... That 10 on...
It wasn't a puppy.
No.
Right.
Just,
What's it doing up there?
Yeah.
It's my baby. Oh, is it, Mum? All right then,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. It's got 4 legs. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do have
Look,
4 legs.
Dad's gone. He's never coming back. You've got to get over it.
so, if anyone's
It's not a
got
baby.
that, send it in.
Oh
Right,
dear,
okay,
send it in.
good.
So you want to tape with a baby with 4 legs. You're going to be disappointed again. It's not going to be like a baby with 4 legs who's running up the curtains. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that. It's probably going to be 2 legs and then 2 sort of like floppy appendages. You know what I mean? They're not going to be brilliant. It's not going to be like Jake the Peg. You're going to be disappointed. Come on, Carl. You're getting paid for this. Project. Out.
We'll take one of those CDs away.
All right.
What were we talking about? Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Sick of it, as I say. So there's some people dressed up on TV. They were dressed up as the characters. They had their sort of costumes. There was a guy I went to university with. I don't want to mention his name. Went into his room once. He was into that sort of thing. He showed me in his wardrobe. He had a full-size Star Trek outfit that his mum had made for him.
His mum had made for him.
But I wanted to say, well, A, you've taken it to university, but B, when are you going to wear that?
Yeah.
When are you ever in the mood to wear that?
Well, you never know when. Like on Apollo 13, wasn't it? When someone had measles or something, someone else got in.
Sure.
So you might go, "Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. The Enterprise. Uhuru can't make it.
But it's the idea of that being, you know, I'm not one to speak, but it's that idea of that sort of being attractive to women. Because that's presumably generally when you're at university, when you're 18, 19, that's the reason you wear those kind of clothes, is to try and make a bond with someone, isn't it? Try and establish some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Saw a guy walking down the street the other day, must have been 18, 19, wearing on his t-shirt, it just had a picture, and the words, Star Wars Phantom Menace.
He probably like.
But it's just the idea of a girl going, yeah, well, I love that film as well.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be kind of kooky and eclectic t-shirts, aren't they, normally? They're supposed to be a bit sort of radical and a bit offbeat.
My favourite, though, are... I love fat goths.
Yes.
I really love fat goths.
Who are still persevering with it, even into their 30s?
I like fat young ones. I love fat 18-year-old goths. I really like them. They're one of my favourites. And I like 42-year-old goths
Yeah.
who... They're losing all their hair. They're just growing at the back. But, you know, I don't know what jobs they do. But their main hobby is looking like Nosferatu and wearing lots of silverware. That's one of my favourites.
I think I mentioned to you before, I saw a girl on the tube, she had a bag, and she was quite gothy. She had a bag, and it sort of had like a Barbie's head kind of sort of defaced hanging from there, and loads of badges and tassels and little motifs and odd things, and she decorated the bag. And then had sort of things like, you know, legalise cannabis and ban the bomb, you know, and stop the war.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to grab her and say, you doing much about the war, or are you working mainly on the bag?
Yeah, you spent most of the year
you're filling in the petitions, are you doing the marches,
collecting
or is it largely
badges.
the bag you're focused on?
Oh dear.
I'll tell you another thing, that a fashion mistake that always offends me whenever I see it, is an Englishman of any age wearing cowboy boots.
I had cowboy boots.
I can't believe it.
When I was 18, right, I went out and got a pair of cowboy boots. The cheapest, I mean, they were the only ones I could afford. Awful.
Why?
I mean,
was that
they
'cause
were
you were
like
in...
they were like clogs that came up to the knee. They were so uncomfortable.
And why did you get them? Who was wearing them at the time that you thought they were cool?
Clint Eastwood.
Right. Okay.
And I had cowboy boots. I put segs in them.
What's that?
Which the little things you nail into the bottom.
So
right?
they sort of clip clop as you
Clip
walk
clop, right? So I'm about 18, right? Those tight jeans, so tight in fact, I thought I had to went to the doctor and I said my balls are aching, and I went off. I said I've got a pain in my epididymis and all this, which I was doing biology, and he went, your jeans are too tight, they're squashing your balls, right? So I had cowboy boots, right, and pale ones, not even sort of like finished properly, sort of like just the raw sort of leather, cheap wooden bits at the bottom, segs, really tight Levi's, and a red sweatshirt with bullshit on it. That was a present.
Just embroidered on.
I looked pretty hot, baby. Oh yeah, yeah. And I remember once as well. This was really embarrassing. I had leather jacket, and
How old were you?
oh, this is embarrassing, 26, I think. And I just had a nice leather jacket, right? But I was bored one day, and so it's about 1986, 87.
Yeah.
87, must have been. And I just painted on the lapel a little acid. And that didn't last.
And were you going to acid house raves at the time?
No, of course not. No. But I remember that one didn't last long. That was in the bottom of the wardrobe immediately.
Yeah.
I knew at the time. I just thought, what is that?
Yeah.
But I forgive anyone sort of anything up to about the age of 25, right?
I don't know.
But I mean, he's getting close there, yeah. But certainly up to the age of 20. But it's the 40-year-olds. It is the 40-year-olds that just still have a little go. Goths are the best. Goths are the best.
Or the cowboy stuff, because there's never been a culture of cowboys in this country.
I know,
You know, so
yeah.
you see the 40-year-old guy with the kind of cowboy jacket with the tassels.
Yeah.
You know, or the bootlegs tie.
Add that, yeah. Went to that, yeah. Did all that,
Because you've been through most phases. This is what's interesting to me about you, is you're quite self-aware.
But the most committed one was probably the New Romantic when I first went to university. So, 18, red bullshit T-shirt and tight jeans. Within a couple of months, David Sylvian, just full makeup and that.
Can I ask, because having never really subscribed to one of those fashions, one of those styles, with something like New Romantic, which you've got to be quite committed, do you ease into that slowly, start wearing a bit of nail polish, maybe an earring, and then you work your way in, or you went whole hog?
No, I remember the first time I did it was the sort of like the first disco in my first year. Borrowed someone's makeup, put it on, stopped at the chin, hadn't quite got the so I looked like a mannequin,
right?
And then I sort of got better at it, I suppose.
Right.
Wanted to look like David Sylvian. That was the idea, and then it sort of.
And
like
so
stuck,
you had to literally go out and sort of start again with your wardrobe, presumably. The cowboy boots went out, the tight jeans. You had to literally go to a shop and buy an outfit, a New Romantic outfit.
No, it was okay because in those days it was a suit. So there was a New Romantic. You wore the suit. I didn't wear all the sort of like pirate gear and pixie boots. I sort of wore the suit and luckily before I went away, I'd bought a suit from my mum's catalogue, which was one of those woolen ones that went bobbly. So not quite David Sylvian, but you know, at least I was having a go. Yeah. Well, respect.
Have you ever subscribed to any of those fashions, Carl?
Nah, just
going for the gay look now, and he wears Ben Sherman's and he shaves his head.
remember wanting some Dr. Martens.
Yeah.
And my mum worked at a college in a canteen, and she knew I wanted some, but she got some. There was an old woman who worked in the canteen who said she had some, and it turned out to be like little granny boots. And I ended up having them for a bit.
With a little zip up the front.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant! Did you wear them?
For a bit.
Yeah. Well, you might as well. Waste not, want not.
There's a little woman who sits in the little snack stall on Finchley Road station.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it, really. She is surrounded by snacks. She can't move for snacks. It's
Does
like...
it look like American Beauty, but with different...
Not dissimilar to that.
Yeah.
It's a little hut on the station. And it's like, if you go to the seaside, you can put your head through one of those cardboard cutouts and it looks like you're a big fat person or whatever, and you can have your photo taken. It's like an equivalent of that, but it's just snacks everywhere. She's got bananas up to her chin. She's got chocolate coming down to her eyes, crisps either side of her. She can't move. She can't do 360 degrees. She's like packed in there. I don't know how she gets in there.
I think they put her in there first, and pour in the bananas.
Yeah.
And then they go pour in the nuts.
She has 2 hours of makeup before they open,
exactly, yeah.
dressing her in there. Because I'll ask for something from the fridge, and she cannot turn her head to see. She has to go by feel alone, just to feel the fridge and get stuff out and pass it. And often I'll say, that's not what I wanted, but she can't. You've got to let her off. It's extraordinary.
Dear.
But there's no music playing.
Does she
there's
have
nothing.
to sell her way out of it?
Exactly.
If it's a slow day, she's stuck there till the next day.
Yeah, it's like a world-breaking attempt.
Yeah. Oh dear. First Finchley Road. So if you,
if you're on Finchley Road or just want to pop down there, have a look at the snack woman, because it is. It's
how
always
does she
amusing.
get refills though?
I don't know how it works. I don't know how she goes to the toilet or eats. I don't know what she does.
Yeah.
But God bless her.
That's one of the jobs you wouldn't
That's
have.
jobs I would not like.
I've always worried about working in one of those big photocopying places.
Sure.
Because it's that constant taste of toner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so dry, and I just imagine going to work with a hangover.
Yeah.
8 hours in that sort of
I think it's
environment.
those jobs where what's the best that can happen that day? Do you know what I mean? The photocopying shop. What's the best?
Well, they probably have interesting things, like people going and photocopying.
Porno mags.
Can I have 30 copies of my art?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the staff party.
Yeah,
But I wonder if I could do that in here.
Yeah.
Carl, what job wouldn't you want to do? Well, any job. You're a lazy...
You're joking, aren't you?
Well-
I've done loads of stuff. I'm quite happy now doing what I'm doing.
Yeah? You look happy.
Trying to think.
You sound happy.
Yeah, I mean, calm down. You on drugs?
I'm all right.
Are you on E?
Before England have won and that. I'm
What?
happy for them.
Yeah, go on,
Said
happy for
before,
them.
I'm happy in that.
Yeah, what do you mean happy for them? We are England. Happy for us. Yeah. I mean, we didn't play. I did very little towards it.
No.
It was mainly Johnny Wilkinson.
Yeah, I
at the
barely
end of
contributed. Switching on the TV was about as much as I did.
Exactly. And shouting, come on!
Yeah. You know, I suddenly become terrified that they might go on strike.
Go on.
The guys in charge of the potatoes.
Oh,
Anyone involved with potatoes.
I had so much
the
mash
farmers.
last night. I had so much sausage mash. I had second helpings that I had to sit on the edge of a seat so my stomach could hang down. I love spuds and bread. I could not do without spuds and bread.
I feel like maybe I could make my own bread. Spuds, I wouldn't know where to start with a spud.
Yeah.
And it's like they're amazing. You can boil them. You can broil them.
Yeah.
I don't know what broiling is,
Nor do
but
I.
I suspect it's tasty.
I don't think it's as good as... I mean, obviously the chipped potato is...
For the working
everyone's
classes,
favourite.
the chip.
It was always on. The chip fat fire was always on in my household. The ceiling, the death trap fire, polystyrene ceiling was yellow.
Exactly.
Come Wednesday in our house.
Yeah.
And, always had chips.
Because all I remember hearing, if I think back to my childhood, all I remember was, got to stop and get some potatoes, or phone your dad, tell him to get some potatoes.
Well, that was your job, wasn't it?
Get the
Carl?
potatoes.
Yeah. It was like,
I mean, genuinely, it does concern me
What
because
did you have to do? Did you have to fill a diary out for your
well, it's
teacher?
do you know when you're at school? I don't know if you do the same thing, but you get like a little red book, right? And every night, I think it was a way of the teachers sort of keeping an eye on you. So if you went out robbing, if you wrote it in your diary, they'd go, what are you playing at?
Sure.
Right? So you'd have to write down what you did every night.
Yeah.
But I didn't get up to that much at that point.
Sure.
I used to just go on my errands.
Yeah.
And it was my job to like...
I haven't heard errand since the 70s.
It's nice to hear that.
Just I went to U-Phase, right, the little local supermarket, and I got...
What's it called? Euthanasia? What? I did...
U-Phase.
New phase.
U-Phase.
U-Phase.
Yeah.
Like H-U-G-H. Phase.
Oh, Hugh
Oh, it's
Faye's
his
his
name.
name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
I just had
Faye's
to
right,
get
yeah.
I just had to get like a bag of potatoes.
Of course you did, yeah.
And a
essential.
loaf.
Staple.
So I used to put that in my diary every day, and it got to a point when like even the teachers were like, just make something up.
Yeah.
Stop putting the same thing in.
Sure, start joyriding or something. Live.
I remember when Jane was little, she was at school, I think it was about 10 or something, they had to do a project over the week, and they were given a big list, like a list of 100 animals that they had to tick when they saw one that week. And the teacher knew she cheated because she ticked beaver. So she was trying to win and get a bit of, she knew, unless it was Susie Dibblethwaite's beaver,
I know
the school slut. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. So
it feels like the potato people have got me over a barrel. You know, I mean, they could hike the prices up. I still have to buy the potatoes. I got nothing else. I got to have that. You know, you got your fancy pastas for the upper classes, but for the working classes, it's chips or mash, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry. I don't think people who do potatoes are going to go on strike.
You don't think so?
Because we just go and pick them ourselves, don't we? Or grow them ourselves.
Sure.
What would be the most pointless strike? What would be the strike that we went so? Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you one strike that would go so. Those guys who do sketches in Covent Garden. Yeah, paint your picture, or they do a caricature of you.
The strike,
Yeah.
imagine the strike. You go out and you go, well, I want one with a big nose and a big chin.
I want them using caricature of me and my sister.
yeah. Oh, dear.
But I need a sketch. I need a pencil drawing of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Looking like a monkey. I mean, how are we going to get this? This is unbelievable.
Talking about jobs and that, though, I was reading the other day about like, you know, rubbish jobs that people have had and stuff.
I haven't got time when I'm at work, man. I just get on with it. I'm like Squiddly Diddly. Fingers in pies, different jobs. Go on.
Do you know Ivor the Terrible?
Ivan.
He
His Russian. Yeah, that was the Welsh fella. It was bloody awful, but not as bad as his Russian cousin, Ivan. Yeah. Go on.
He had a fella doing some work for him. Right, this fella built his house. Yeah. After it was done, right, the terrible fella was like,
fella Ivan.
He was going, oh, it's brilliant. You've done a good job there.
Yeah.
I don't want you to build another one like that. Took his eyes out. Just stopped him making an house like that again.
Blimey.
That's bad, isn't it?
Why didn't he take away his trowel? Then he could have seen, but he couldn't have built a house without a trowel. You can't build a house without a trowel.
Yeah.
I suppose he probably later thought that once he'd been nicknamed Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah.
He thought, why? Because you gouge people's eyes out.
Yeah, but I didn't want to build another house.
I know, but
take his trowel away. What would I have been then? Ivan the Crafty at most.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ivan the Jealous. You know, Ivan the spoilt brat. But
yeah.
Gouge someone's eyes. That is bloody terrible. I'm surprised you're not called Ivan the... Do you know what I mean?
You're going to get on in history like with Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
He's mainly remembered for impaling people.
Yeah. He did a lot of other stuff.
Did a load of great charity work he did.
The impaling is the thing that's really gone down in history. When were you reading about Ivan the Terrible?
No, it's just
or Ivor the Terrible is the thing you remembered from this informative article?
No, it was just little bits like that. Talking about him, there was a thing about someone who worked for that fella who painted the ceiling.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, there was a thing. A woman who worked for him in his house, and
I love how you assimilate information when it's just bordering on the academic, or just the interesting and true. It's wonderful. Ivor the Terrible gouged someone's eyes out 'cause built him an house. That fella who painted that ceiling had a woman work for him. Imagine if you wrote that down in an essay. Imagine if you wrote that in a school essay.
Well, you'd probably end up with not getting a grade, or
thinking you turned out to more than you had.
Exactly. Anyway, the woman who lived with
the woman who lived in a shoe. Go on.
Yeah, there was this woman who lived with him, and she used to go out and do all this shopping and that.
Yeah.
But because she couldn't read or write, he used to have to draw everything that he wanted.
Why couldn't he just tell her?
I don't know.
No, wait. That's an excellent point. Could she talk?
Yeah, but if it's a big list and that, loads of different coloured paints.
But why couldn't she draw on a piece of paper? Why did he have to do it?
Because he's a better drawer, isn't he?
That's the point. That's it. We were just looking for the logic of the story. You found it.